What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back the day after. I labeled it a frustrating and, painful result, and disappointing. And then comes out Spalletti, and I don't know what it is, but listening to him, I'm like, maybe I'm not overreacting, but maybe it wasn't that painful. Maybe it's painful because we only have 3 points out of the Champions League. But he comes out and he says basically, calm down. We have a very strong team. He said, I believe in this team. He said, I like the spirit, and if we play like this, we will win many games. Saying that what makes me more confident is that we have real things in our hands we can work on, because there are strong players with important qualities and we need to improve on our build-up play, he said, but we both have solutions and quality as well, And then he went on saying as well that, he said, I'm satisfied with the performance, but because the team show desire, quality, and with this spirit, we will win many matches. And then he went on saying, look at the last two matches we played, Cremonese and Sporting, we only conceded 4 shots on target. And if you look at the other teams they faced, they all gave up or more shots on target. But then he also said, what I like most is that we had 14 shots on our own. We have 14 shots, and that's what I like most. So a very positive Spalletti telling us to calm down because he believes in this team. He sees things that are very good at this moment in time. You can build up, and you're also saying, I see things that we need to improve. However, because there is a good base, because I see what the players already have done, I'm confident that we can build on that. We're gonna talk about that. Also, what Colt Miner said, that was very interesting. What Colt Miner said, and also a little bit about Del Piero and Spalletti and Vlahovic. But before we get into it, smash the like button. Very important for this channel. Subscribe to the channel, and let's dive straight into it. Okay, so like I said in my intro, a very positive Spalletti. We said there are things that we need to improve. The way we circulate the ball, it needs to be a bit more faster. It needs to be a bit more clean because he said we win the ball back. We break up the passing lines very good because we have the players for it. But then at times we give the ball away too quickly. He said that cannot happen. And also the way we handle the ball in possession, the way we circulate the ball, he said it needs to improve. It needs to be a bit more quicker. It needs to be a bit more determined so we can hurt teams more. He also said that, at times we need to be smart at, understanding the moment, when to attack, etc. Because teams right now across the world, also in the Serie A, they play and defend as a block, as a unit. He said you need to be smart, but those are all things we can learn. He said Segrova, interesting player, but the doctors told me he didn't have many minutes on the legs as well. He talked about Yildiz saying, I wanted to pull him because of the injury, but, Vlahovic felt something, and some discomfort a little bit. So we decided that we were going to, let him play center forward. So a very positive Spalletti. Obviously, he needs to be positive. He's not coming in just now and saying, wow, it's horrible. I need to throw everything away and I need to start building from ground zero. He's not going to say that, obviously. But the way he speaks, if you listen to him, and obviously it's in Italian and I get it, but just even listen to the Italian thing and then translate it, whatever. He believes what he's saying. It's not to make anyone feel better. He believes that there's a good base in this team to build on, to improve, etc. Because he said, I see things, there's quality there that I can use. When he talked about breaking up play, closing down passing lines, it's very specific to mention those things when it comes to saying I have those players to do that because that's what he wants. It's very specific to say that we have the quality to play football, but we need to learn how to circulate the ball, where to go with the ball at certain moments in games, how to crick up the pace as well, he was saying. So it's a very positive Spalletti, despite, for us, it's like, oh, we have 3 points. But for him, it's like, yeah, we have 3 points, but I didn't do the job at times, before ending the Champions League. Those were not my results. He said, these are my results. He said, at the end of the day, he just comes in and obviously he talks about what he believes is very viable, what's very important. He said, he also said something funny. He said, after the goal we conceded and after they hit the crossbar, he said, I wanted to go basically headbutt my players. Um, but he also said the players, I trust them, because after that, they showed their reaction. They conceded, they hit the crossbar, and the team stood up. They didn't lay down, they didn't give up. They were not like, oh my God, here we go again. They stood up, they created chances, and they fought their ways back into the game, And I mean, that's all positive, and we know that. Like, we need to go. Like, we've been in a very bad place. We hadn't won in 7 games. Brambilla wins that game. Spalletti comes in against Cremonese, win that game. We should have won against Sporting, but we haven't. That's the reality, and that's what he's talking about. He said also, like, the performance was good, but at the end, if you don't win, it's not been good enough. That's what Vlahovic was saying as well. We did enough, but at the end, you didn't win. Like Kalulu, we deserved to win, but we didn't win. And you need to move on from now. We need to take the positives. You need to forget that for a moment and go to Torino and build on what you are trying to build, because it's clear what he wants to do with those overlaps and Cambiaso cutting inside, etc. It was very heavy left sided. But then he also talked, like I said, about Zegrova, saying that that's a player we can use. He beats his man. It's very direct, and we can definitely use that in the game. But overall, for us, it's disappointing because we only have 3 points in the Champions League. And the way you watch that game, you're like, oh, should have won that game, to be honest, because we didn't really give up anything besides those first 50 minutes. But for him, it's like, okay, it's my real first game in charge, and even then with only maybe 2 training sessions and real training sessions. For him, it's more like, okay, the team is there. They show a reaction. I can use that reaction. I like the qualities, but especially the reaction and the desire, the commitment. I can use that, and then I will pull out the qualities that some players may have but not are able to use, like a Turam, for example. I think at times he switches off defensively and also shooting in certain positions. He needs to improve in that as well. Colt Miners, talked about this new position, saying, I talked to the club and Spalletti. This is what I'm good at. That's maybe something that not turns the season, but gives you a different outlet, gives you a different option, another perspective, etc. So overall, he's basically saying, trust me. As a fan base right now, there's little you can do than try to trust him, try to believe the fact that he sees a good team, that he sees a good base that he can work on, that he believes that this is actually a very strong team, etc. That's really the only thing you can do right now at this moment in time, and move on to Torino and kind of forget about this one. So the big takeaway, we have a strong team, and he said we're going to win many games if we play with this spirit and we keep improving. He said, I have no doubts that we will do very good things this season. So who knows? In the comments, let me know if you agree with him, if you believe that take from Spalletti, if you're with that take, and then we will discuss it as always. And then later tonight, join me for a live show. Ciao.